So, um, baby Ev was not happy with my response to her in her first question. So now she demands that I tell you all how much I love her, which is lots and lots, forever and ever. Yes. Um, even though her first interaction with me was calling me an asshole because of cherry things. Sorry. No, I'm not. um, yeah. No, I love you forever, baby Ev, okay? Um, you're like the little sister I never had, 'cause you're littler than me. Also, you have a really cool last name. I'm jealous. Because we're also friends on Facebook, true love. Um, and then she also asked, because she had to jump on the drunk meta train. She wants to know. Oh, she just wants drunk meta on Elizabeth and Mary's relationship. Well, this isn't a story, so I just have to actually analyze them. I can't be like, well, the parallel identity arc between the two sisters separated by religious tension and things. No. Mary was Elizabeth's primary mother figure. After Anne's execution in 1536, Mary kept Elizabeth with her at Hatfield, which was the house where Elizabeth was growing up with her people. Moving back. And she paid for Elizabeth's expenses out of her own purse and really tried to advocate to her own detriment for Elizabeth to return to Henry's favor. Obviously, over time, as Elizabeth grew up and was more aware of the political and religious realities of England at that time, I wouldn't say they grew apart because they were together for a lot of this, but a lot of tensions were raised, especially when Elizabeth became close with Catherine Howard, who had been Anne Boleyn's cousin. And when Elizabeth started really looking into her mother's past and life and started associating herself with her mother's religion, which, as we all know, Mary was kind of a Catholic. A little bit. So I do think that Mary dearly loved the child that she had a large hand in raising, even though she initially resented Elizabeth because she was forced to be an attendant to her, not even a lady in waiting. But she eventually did really come to care for this child who she took care of from the age of like 3 to I think 8 as her primary caregiver and person who paid for her expenses and made sure she was educated properly. And Elizabeth being Protestant, not Protestant, in that time, Protestant had different connotations. Being Anglican, would have been seen as betrayal because Mary was of the opinion that she was trying to save everyone's souls, and if she couldn't even save her sisters, and tension, and what have you. And of course, Elizabeth was resentful because Mary was this mother figure, because Mary's 18 years older than her and really could have been her mother. Meanwhile, Henry's wives are shuffling in and out. I think they loved each other, and probably to an extent also hated each other. What we know of Elizabeth's reactions to Mary's death is largely biased and hearsay. Obviously, Elizabeth never wrote down for her own private digestion of the event how she felt when she heard that Mary was dead or when Mary was dying. So we'll never know how she really reacted. Of course, there probably was a degree of relief because Mary had imprisoned her. That was not okay, Mary. It was difficult. They loved each other. They were sisters first before they became queens and political figures, and it sucked. And fuck you, Henry, why did you have to screw everyone? And literally and figuratively.